there you have it. It is the Mazda RX-7. So this is kind of where we're at. This is the baseline. The car I bought about a year ago. It pretty good condition. It's a good. Basically, it was a roller. No engine. Interior is pretty straight. But as you know, if you know RX-7s, there's always something to do. In this case, was a long process of getting parts and finding things and sourcing things, and pretty much I've been, kind of compiling things, finding them where I could, mostly from the RX-7 club, different forums, stuff like that. For the most part, I've always been interested in RX-7s. I've had a few. I've had a FA, I've had an FB, I've had an FC Turbo, all pretty much short-lived. FA, drove that for a few years. FB, I bought that in Wyoming and then proceeded to just drive it across the country to Florida. That was fun. Day I left, I realized the starter didn't work and the part store didn't have the starter I wanted. So I spent the whole basic trip across the country push starting my car. Didn't turn it off when I got gas. So it was kind of fun, right? The fun things we do when we're young. So now I had an opportunity to get my quote-unquote dream car and picked it up. Took a little road trip to pick it up. With anything else, when you see something you really want, logic sometimes gets tossed to the side. The guy I bought the car from said, "Oh yeah, I have everything you need. Just get an engine, yada yada." And I did get an engine. I can give you some stats later. I have to go dig them out. I know it's a pretty reputable builder in LA. I believe it's a street ported engine. I'm guessing. Well, I won't guess, but I'm wondering if the lower intake manifold has any kind of porting work done. I'm not sure. I didn't pull it off. But some upgraded internals. But yeah, we can get into that later. But for the most part, I got the engine and I got parts that came with the car that were supposed to be pretty much everything that we needed. And to come to find out, it wasn't. No fault to anyone but myself. The guy I bought the car from, he's a pretty decent guy. I called him a couple times. He looked around, saw some things, so he's pretty cool. But it's just how it goes. You can't expect to get everything, especially when you're getting a roller. But yeah, so I got things here and there. I just found out I needed as I started the build, and yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Put the engine in a while ago. I bought a turbo kit off this really cool website called eBay. So we'll see how that goes. But the guy said it's a good kit. So yeah. Anyway, back to the car. So as you can see, engine's in. Kind of sketchy on the mounts. I think one mount's good. The other mount I was like, eh. But I was just so excited to get the car in, or the engine in the car. I felt that it was sufficient, and I could always get another mount another time. Shouldn't be that difficult to pull out. So really, where I'm at is getting the car. Of course, what we all want to do, get it running, right? And then getting it to a point where I can start doing more modifications. So my feeling was, if the high quality custom turbo takes a dump, then at least I have kind of like the infrastructure, the foundation, just to get an actual good turbo that someone's heard of, and move forward with whatever we're at and so forth. So, you know, I do think the manifold and the downpipe, it's internal wastegate. Not sure if you can see that. Sort of see it down there. Yeah, that's, you know, it's all pretty solid, pretty good. Weld seemed pretty well. Metal, the gauge is pretty good. So yeah, so that's what I figured. If all else fails, the turbo will fail, and hopefully it doesn't mess anything else up. And yeah, we can kind of build off of that. So, but we'll see how it goes. I've heard some actual good things about these custom kits. So, what's step one? Well, there's actually a lot of steps. So I got this list of really fun things to do. It's a long list, but it's not like it's gonna take forever. But definitely, this is kind of like our script or our I don't know, episodes, if you will, that we're gonna do here. And of course, you know, hey, I'm not a self-proclaimed expert. You know, I pretty much just, you know, like working on things. I like doing stuff on my own for the monetary incentive, of course, but you know, it's just fun to figure stuff out, play with tools, and have fun. So essentially what we're going to do here, and this will be just kind of like an intro video, just telling you right now, you know, just kind of get the word out there, and I'm going to do the project anyway, so why not have some fun with it, make the videos. But here's what the first issue is, and you know, I'm always open to your opinions or comments or suggestions, and I'm sure I will get them from YouTube. But essentially where we're at is I put the transmission in, the engine in, and of course didn't have bolts, so I had to source all the bolts. That wasn't actually that difficult. And then my next step was, okay, got a clutch slave cylinder, because I found out I didn't have that. Bought that, installed it, you know, ran the hose to the, you know, from the brake booster, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just bleed it. So I did that, and I had a brake bleeder kit, which was nice. Figure out where the heck it went. I could show it to you. Oh, it's right here. So one of these bad boys. I highly suggest getting this. I think, you know, I've seen enough videos on YouTube of people doing stuff with something like this or similar to this. Very much suggest it, because I don't know if you've ever had to do the whole, okay, pump, stop, hold. Okay, pump, stop, hold. Yeah, so this really enables you to get away from that, and we'll use this, and I'll kind of show you. It's very simple. Basically, it's just the, you know, pressure. And if you're already wondering, look around my garage. I moved in here about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and got really excited about having a space to do projects. This being one, and then a motorcycle broke, and then all at the same time, the whole joy of unpacking and figuring out what you really need, what you don't need. So that's why I'm surrounded by stuff. But hopefully that'll be something you'll notice too as the videos progress, and get a little bit cleaner shop going on. Yes, I would like to get a lift, but probably not a good idea with the garage. But I have been looking at little mini lifts. I guess they go on each side of the rail and take the car about 2.5 feet. So we'll see. I think it'd be very helpful. So anyway, back to the engine and transmission. So I used the bleeder to essentially bleed the system, and I cracked it and waited, heard some hissing noises, thought, oh, it's going to work. And then there I saw my fluid. Oh, great, easy, great, wonderful, yay. Closed it up, went over to the, into the car, and then I pushed the pedal and just nothing. And then I started hearing something, and I thought, what is that? And I looked, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it, so we'll try. So you can sort of see right in the center, you can see the top of the slave cylinder, the rubber kind of thing that surrounds the shaft, and that rests into the clutch throw out lever. And so what I found out what happened is that was not engaged. It was not touching the clutch at all. It went to the side, or not the clutch, the lever went to the side. It was just like, and needless to say, it was just dumping brake fluid onto the ground. So it went inside into the transmission, pulled up, and then leaked out the bottom in front of the clutch. So it all drained out. I don't really think that's going to be an issue. I'm not worried about, there are some access little ports underneath, so I'll see if I can get in there, absorb what I can to try not to contaminate the clutch with brake fluid. But I think it's relatively not really worried about it too much. So anyway, what happened? Well, some of you may or may not know the clutch in an FD RX-7 is a pull type clutch. So as I thought, normal cars when I worked on before, you put the engine in, and as the slave cylinder pushes into the lever, it actually pushes it, and it pushes it whole into the clutch, and then it pushes the clutch in and then disengages from the flywheel. So what it does is when you, I don't know the best way to illustrate this, maybe I'll take it apart or something and show you, but basically, in essence, what it's doing is when you push the lever, the clutch pedal, it's pushing the slave cylinder forward onto the clutch lever, right? So it's a fulcrum, and it, so basically imagine the lever is right here, or sorry, the slave cylinder is right here. It's late, I've worked all day. Slave cylinder is right here, and it's pushing this way, right? So it's pushing towards the lever. As you can notice, the fulcrum here, the top of this is going backwards, right? So that's basically what's happening. Now, on the front of this is this little, it's the actual, it's a circular, I don't know what it's called, I won't pretend. It's a circular thing that just, goes over the input shaft, and it is attached to the lever, and it pulls out, right? So you go this way, so it pulls out from the clutch. So it's attached to the clutch plate. So it locks in there, and it pulls out, and then it takes the pressure off the clutch. Okay, got that done. So anyway, what I found out was that the clutch, and I have a shot of it. I took a little scope and I took a picture of it. So I'll probably throw that in there if I can in post-production. And anyway, you might see it now. Anyway, basically that whole component that's attached to the clutch lever, it didn't get seated into the clutch. So basically the lever was all the way forward like this, and then so when the slave cylinder pushed out, it just pushed out, right? It just said, okay, well, we're going, and then it pushed out the cylinder, and just splooged all over the inside, and that's kind of what happened there. So that'll be our first step. Or actually, yeah, I guess the first step. There's been lots of steps, trust me. But as far as like really getting, committing, get this car up and running, so I don't have to keep staring at it in my garage. That's what we're gonna do. So, yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this. I know a lot of talking, not much actual working, but like I said, this is kind of getting you to know what's really ahead of us, what's in store for us as we go on this journey. And of course, we'll figure things out along the way. And yeah, so that's the car. And we can, of course, go into the interior. I've actually started putting a short shifter kit in. I have no idea what kind of short shifter it is. But upon trying to install it, I found that it didn't have the hardware, so it's longer hardware. So I had to source that too. So we'll do all that together. Hope you enjoy the ride.